proud to present Reflection. The Word of God states that we are created in the reflection of God. Plan to be empowered by the Word of God as our anointed speaker for this evening will reflect on the awesomeness of God. God bless you. And here is your host for Reflections, Dr. Marcia Thetford.
To Reflections. I'm Dr. Marcia Thetford. It's always a blessing to have you come to our office and our studio and our little cubby place, and we just love you and bring you wonderful men and women of God who reflect the image of God in their ministry and in their lives. Today, this evening, we have Rabbi Melody Davis from Temple Covenant of Peace in Eastern Pennsylvania, located on Northampton Boulevard, I believe the 1400 block, and I'm so glad to have her. She's going to talk about God and creativity. And as a rabbi, a woman rabbi, she wanted to be a rabbi at the age of 3 years old. And we're going to go over her journey becoming a rabbi and just her love of music and the arts, and it's just wonderful to have her. Let's just all welcome her to Reflections, Rabbi Melody Davis. Good evening.
Good evening and shalom.
Oh, shalom. Shalom also to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you accepted the invitation. I'm so excited about you coming in and talk about this, because as I was talking to my husband, I was reading your bio, and that you wanted to be a rabbi ever since the age of 3, but because it was normally conditioned, I should say, for men,
Right?
you were told no.
That's correct.
And I said, oh, our lives parallel so so much. And just a fascinating person. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your family, the temple, just everything. I just want to know everything.
Everything. Okay.
We want to know everything.
When I was 3,
Okay. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I realized I went to temple with my papa, my grandpa, and a Jewish man wears a prayer shawl around him called a talit.
Yes.
And I used to hang out underneath. And it was, I loved the warmth of being near him, and I loved hearing the music. And there are also fringes on the end of the talit, and I used to braid them, which I'm sure he wasn't terribly happy about. When I was about 5.5 or 6, he basically said, well, now you're growing up, so you have to sit with women, because this was a traditional synagogue.
Yes.
And I used to wait and wait and wait till my part. My part.
And what was your
knew
part?
There was one prayer that was special.
Yes.
And I didn't know why it was special. I didn't know what it meant.
Okay.
I just knew that when that prayer was said, Grandpa's deep bass was going to meet up with my piping soprano and kind of form this rainbow double helix over the separation between the men and women. And that prayer is based on a phrase in Deuteronomy, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one." And there was something that happened at that moment. I don't know if Grandpa felt it at all.
You felt it. It was your connection.
Yes,
That connection of oneness, of unity,
absolutely.
of really breaking the walls, the barriers that we can.
Both ways.
Yes. The tradition had established.
Yes. And later on, I have 2 brothers, an older one and a younger one.
The
And
middle.
I'm the middle one.
I
You
have to.
too?
Yes.
Oh. Another a synchronicity.
Yes.
And in Hebrew, we call that beshert.
Of the shirt.
Beshert is something that is meant to like the day we met,
Yes.
that was Beshert.
Our destiny.
Absolutely.
I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
The day I met my wonderful husband.
I love your husband. I was trying to get him to come on the show.
Very
But you can
shy.
tell about how you met. But go ahead. I don't
He's
want to.
very
Your
shy.
journey. Your beautiful journey. Your beautiful journey. You just knew when you just knew that this is the part that you wanted to be.
And I wanted
That.
to know more.
More.
So I begged my parents.
Mhm.
This is unusual. I begged my parents to send me to religious school. Most Jewish kids are like, "Get me out of here, please!" And here I was saying, "No, no, please, let me go, let me go, let me go." So
Yes.
they did, and then I realized I learned everything I needed to know. So I begged to send me to Jewish day school.
Okay.
And at that time, I didn't understand this whole denominational thing.
Oh, really?
Totally did not get it. I had this odd notion that Jews were Jews, like Christians are Christians. I didn't understand Reform, Conservative, or
Oh, it's so much. Too much.
didn't get it.
I don't feel bad. I really still don't get it, and I don't want to.
I don't think I do either. But
We accept it in a certain way.
yeah,
Woo, but we fight against the grain.
people are people.
And God is God.
Amen.
And He's love.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So at that
Yeah.
time, the breaking barriers, and we're one all together
Yes.
in His creation.
And so,
Yes.
unfortunately, that wasn't the outlook at Jewish day school.
Oh,
And-
not in a lot of
In a lot of-
Christians.
Okay. Well,
Back then.
yeah,
Yes.
we were separated
Mm.
so that the boys were learning Talmud, which
Uh-huh.
is basically commentary on the Torah,
Mhm.
and the girls were separated so they could learn how to keep a kosher home.
Okay.
And I went to the
Yeah.
principal and I said, "I already know
Know
how
that.
to keep a kosher
Yeah.
home. I mean, I grew up in a kosher home. My bubby keeps a kosher home. That's my
Mhm.
papa's wife.
Right, yeah.
Bubby is grandma.
Correct.
And I want to learn Talmud."
Yeah. But
And they told me,
no.
no.
But Rabbi, you said you wanted to be that. Why did you want to be that? I know you said talked about your grandfather, but was there something just gnawing
There
and
was
yearning?
something calling,
Okay, that's yes. Something
and it
calling.
never stopped. Everything I have ever had.
But
My-
you were a woman.
Yeah, well, you noticed? Yeah.
You had a calling as a woman,
And when I went to the rabbi and said I want to study Talmud, he said, no,
No.
that's for boys. And I said, but I want to be a rabbi.
God.
And rabbis have to know Talmud. And he looked at me and said, sweetheart, you can be a rebbitzin. A rebbitzin.
Explain that, please.
That means I could be a rabbi's wife.
Okay.
And I looked at him and I was a little bit snarky. I
Oh,
know
first
this.
lady. We would call it a first lady.
Oh, we would? Okay.
A pastor's wife, a rabbi's wife, a first lady.
First lady, yes.
Yes.
I looked at him and said, I am smarter than any boy in this class. And you're telling me I can be his wife? I don't think so.
Woo.
Yes, I went,
Feisty.
yeah.
Feisty.
Feisty and 14. And I decided at that point that, okay, if Judaism didn't want me, I didn't want Judaism. So there was a divorce
A divorce.
there, absolutely.
But
And,
the calling didn't leave you. Couldn't
No.
divorce the calling.
and God didn't leave me alone either.
Never leave you, never forsake you.
No.
No.
So I took a job as a dramatics counselor at a camp for underprivileged Jewish children. And what do you think I wound up doing? Leading services. Went to college. What job did I get as a work-study job? I was the liaison between the campus ministries office and the student body. There's God again.
God says, I have designed a plan for you. I know what I have formed you to be, regardless of what anyone says. Anyone says, I have called you for such a time as this,
Mm-hmm.
and no one will abort my plan.
There was no way.
No way.
No way.
No way.
We moved out here to Allentown
Mm-hmm.
now 25 years ago, and I went to the Jewish Community Center because I heard they had a very good nursery school, and our son then, our eldest, was 2. And as we're walking around getting the whole quarter tour, we pass by the nursery school office, and I hear the music teacher apologizing deeply to the nursery school principal. I'm so sorry, but my husband is going to Japan for 6 weeks at the end of June, and I can't be here for the graduation or for those 6 weeks. And the principal saying, well, what am I supposed to do without a music teacher for 6 weeks?
Oh, okay.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm a musician.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
But as a matter of fact, yeah. So, wound up teaching again, and teaching Jewish music. So, all the holidays, and hello, here we are again, back in that. And then I got that job that night. That night, I get home, the phone is ringing. Okay. I pick up the phone, and this strange man says, Melody Davis, this is Cantor Wartell from Temple Bethel in Allentown, and I want you.
What?
Excuse me? I beg your pardon. I'm a married woman.
I'm a Revis. No, that's
No, he's the Hubbardston.
Hubbardston.
The husband of a female rabbi is a Hubbardston.
The husband of a female rabbi is a Hubbardston.
Right. Yep.
Amen. And
Yes.
he's in our studio audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Hubbardston.
And he does everything that any good Rebbitzin would do. I mean, he has that ear to the congregation for anything that I might need to know that I haven't heard of. And when it comes to cooking, let me tell you, he's a far better chef than I am. And there are about 20 loaves of pumpkin bread in my freezer. And
I know where I can go.
and if ever you don't feel well, God forbid, there is chicken soup in the freezer at Temple Covenant of Peace. Ooh, I mean, if you're not feeling well, you need chicken soup.
If I'm feeling well, can I still come and get you?
Absolutely.
Do I have to get sick?
Well, we consider it a special member benefit, If you're not feeling well, please call the rabbi or her secretary. Someone will drop off some chicken soup. Because if you're sick, you're not in the mood to go cooking.
Yes, even if I'm well sometimes. Not in the mood to
Well, he makes good chicken soup, and so do I. So
good.
it's in the freezer.
Good. And to go back to this telephone call. So you get this
So
telephone call.
I get the telephone call, and I
yes.
said, "What do you want me for?" He said, "I need a music teacher. I need a music teacher who speaks English, Yiddish, and Hebrew." I said, "Oh, yeah, I guess I do that."
Okay.
He said, "Well, I have an opening for you, and I want to meet you tomorrow." 2 jobs in one day. Okay. God really does have a sense of humor.
The best.
Yeah.
The best.
So I wound up teaching first music at Temple Bethel, and I formed a youth choir there because I love kids. For me, kids are where it is at, and I adore teenagers. They are the best. They get such a bad rap. They really do.
They just want to keep it motivated and loved, and they come up with so many wonderful ideas. I love the youth. Yes. I remember we're having sons. We had all sons, and they would bring their friends to the church, and we had all types of dramas, musicals. We loved it. So I know, my heart is for the youth. The young people, of course.
Of course, I love my LOLs too. Little old ladies.
I was going to say laugh out loud.
Well, laugh out loud. Yeah,
Little old lady, yes.
I do text, but I have my LOLs. Yep, and they are, you know,
Wonderful.
they are the best. They come up with amazing ideas, and they are going brilliant women.
Amen.
They
Wonderful.
just, I sometimes just kind of stare at them and in wonderment. The things they have accomplished.
The
and
wisdom.
Yes.
The wisdom. Just to be able to sit at their feet and just glean that wisdom from them.
One of the
That's
things
awesome.
I loved about Temple Covenant of Peace, one of
Yes.
the things that really decided to me that this was a good place for me to be,
Yes.
was that two of the former Rebbitzins were
Mhm.
still members of this temple.
Oh.
Usually, when a rabbi dies, and
Mhm.
that's what had happened with the two former Rebbitzins, basically the congregation says, thanks a lot, bye, is the norm. We have Lillian Feinsilver, who is now, God bless her, I think 98 years old,
Oh, wow.
who is still a member of Temple. Not
Yes.
very active these days, but
Still a member.
still
Yeah.
a member.
Yes.
And Ellie Bobro is,
Mm.
I think, somewhere around 80.
Mm.
Her husband died very young, I think
Oh.
57,
Oh,
very
okay.
young. And she is an active, vibrant part
Of
of
the
this temple.
temple.
How many communities do that? They say you are part of us,
Us.
part of our family.
And just because your husband has passed on or left, or you're still a part of our community. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And yes. And you make people feel so comfortable.
Well, they've made me feel very much at home.
Yes.
They really
How long have you been there?
I am now starting my third year.
Your third year. So from the music teacher, from that call, music teacher,
Right.
helping your son's school out.
Right.
And now,
And then to becoming a Hebrew school teacher, and God just kept putting me in more and
More
more positions
positions.
where I needed more information.
well, that's exactly what you asked for. You said, wait, that little girl, I want to know more.
That's
I
right.
have to know more.
Yes.
So when you asked, what? You received.
Well, I'm in relationship with
Yes.
God.
Oh, we
Okay.
better be.
Well, yes, I kind of figure God has pretty big shoulders, so there are times it's not necessarily a polite relationship. And sometimes my congregants will say, I'm so mad at God. And I said, good, you should. You can be mad at God. God can handle it.
Yes.
Yeah, were you ever mad at God?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Okay, well, God just kept putting me in this position where I felt I need more, and I need more, and more, and I need to know more. So finally one day, in abject frustration, I went out on our front lawn and I screamed at God. And I said, look, if you want me to become a rabbi, I need a car, I need a place to stay, I need books,
You really put
and
that
I need
fleece out.
money. And if you come through with that, then I'll become a rabbi.
You put that real whole lot of fleece out.
Oh.
You said you had to be sure. You
I-
had to be clear.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to be very specific.
Oh, yes.
And there was nothing wishy-washy about this.
You were sincere. He knew
So-
your heart.
Well, I laid my cards on the table. I then turned around, stomped back into the house, as in so there.
I guess he told you, oh, I'm waiting for you to tell me how he did. I know he did this. Oh, go ahead. Yes. Yeah, I said, okay, that's what you want to say? All right, no
Uh-huh.
problem. Go ahead.
Okay. So Edwin comes home one day from temple. He says, our wonderful custodian at temple, Phyllis, said he has some books for you. I said, okay, that's want to bring them home? And he said, no, I think she wants you to look at them there. What? Fine. I go to temple figuring it's going to be supposed July. I don't drive with the lights on during the day, going back now, number of years. He said, well, okay. He goes back out, looks at the car again, comes back. He said, did you know there was a mouse that had a nest in the electrical harness of your car?
My
I said,
goodness.
a mouse? Okay, what does this mean? He said, you had a fire. I said, wait a minute, did you just say fire? He said, yeah, why? I said, because we are not insured for dead engine, but we are insured for fire. I'm not kidding. The insurance company came out, they said, oh, you had a fire, how terrible. I said, yes, it was terrible.
There's your new car. Let's check that one off.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
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 Then
Yes.
a couple of weeks later, I'm sitting with a very, very dear girlfriend, and we're chatting, and I'm laughing about these coincidences, you know. And I said, but of course, I mean, I can't go to rabbinical school. I mean, that's terrifically expensive. And she said, yeah. And I said, yeah. She said, no. Yeah. What are you saying? I don't think we're both saying yeah to the same thing here. She said, I think you'd be an amazing rabbi.
Yes.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. No. I could be your scholarship.
Wow.
I beg your pardon? Do you have any idea how much money we're talking about here? I would figure somewhere around 75,000, 80,000.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good.
I think that would be a worthwhile investment in the future of the Jewish people.
Check that one off your list. Your
I'm
list
kind
of-
of beginning to feel a little bit boxed in, you know? I mean, I had, car, books, money.
Money.
So, okay, I still did not have a place to stay because the program I had wanted to go to was 3 days a week from 8 in the morning until 6 at night in the Bronx. And I knew that I would not survive waking up at 4:30 in the morning to get to an 8 o'clock class.
And you still live in Allentown. Where you live
Right.
in-
Okay,
Yes.
it was not viable. I couldn't do it. So I went to the student orientation day figuring this really isn't going to work. And a perfectly strange woman, never saw this woman before in my life, walked over to me and said, hi, my name is Peg and I'm suffering from empty nest if ever you need a place to stay. Okay.
How? Were you convinced then? God is so wonderful. Even when we get in our own little crazy ways, when we know our heart's desire, and God wants to bless us and give us our heart's desire, we still put up these little blocks.
Yeah.
And God just says, "Ooh, let me blow that one away.
And
Let me blow
God
that one away."
did.
Yes, because He had a purpose and a plan for your life, so that you will be a blessing to some of those LOLs, little old ladies, young people, old people alike.
I am so blessed. in my
Yes,
life.
yes. And I see you brought your guitar.
Yes, I did. Come here, baby.
Oh,
This is Shaboom,
shaboom.
as in life could be a dream.
Okay.
And music is one of my favorite ways of connecting with God.
Oh. We always say when the praises go up, the blessings come down.
Oh, yeah.
And as we commune in God and just tell him how awesome he is through his songs, he just opens up. I love to just listen to music as I was studying for school, studying to write my sermons and just the Word of God, and it just brings the revelations. Beautiful. Building that relationship that you talked about earlier.
It's just the way in.
Yes. Open door.
Open the door.
Enter to his gates with thanksgiving,
Amen.
to his courts with praise. Amen. Amen. I have probably
If you will allow me, I have a very, very special prayer / song
Oh, yeah.
that is for all of us.
Please.
All of us on the road.
Amen. Oh, our audience is going to have a wonderful treat. What's the title?
This is called Listen.
Listen.
In Hebrew, Shema. If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your mind. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way. Listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you can hear if you listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Listen to our God.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Listen to our God.
What
Beautiful.
could be simpler?
Simple. Yes. You know, a lot of times as we pray and offer up our prayer requests, and it's like we're always talking, and we never give God a chance to talk back, that we can listen to hear what the Spirit of the Lord has to say to us. Wonderful. Beautiful. And I'm going to move out of the way so you can continue talking about God and creativity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then we'll come back and you can pray for the audience. See you in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
The Torah starts out by saying, Breshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And goes on a little bit further, and God creates us in God's own image. In mystical Judaism, the Kabbalah, it is said that God kind of pulled God's self in once all that creating was done, and this was an act of tzimtzum, of contraction, to allow us the time and the space to create, because within us, within each one of us, is a spark, a piece of God, a light. And that light, in my mind, is the light of creativity. It's that aha moment when you just don't know where that inspiration came from or where that talent came from. That is God. And we all experience it and express it differently. Some of us in music or theater, poetry, literature. These are the ways I love to guide my congregation when it comes to prayer and connection with God. This is God. The end of the journey to find in order the world. God let him finish. We're about to create everything in its totality. Nothing to do. We need to make the world more perfect. As is pair of we help and we are partners with God. At Temple Covenant Peace in December, we are partnering with God in order to help feed the hungry. We have an ongoing food drive, which we share between Jewish Family Service in Allentown and Project Easton. We are also holding a hat and gloves, coat and boot drive, which will be going, I believe, also to Project Easton and the 3rd Street Alliance, because this is going to be a cold winter and folks need help. In this economy in particular, it is our obligation, it is our mitzvah, we are commanded to help take care of those who are in need. In Judaism, we use an analogous word, the word charity. Charity comes from a Latin word meaning to love. In Judaism, we call it tzedakah. This comes from the Hebrew word tzedek, meaning justice. Justice, justice, shall you pursue. Oh, we don't have a choice here. We don't have to love every person we help. But a person in need, we are obligated to help. A person who is drugged out of his mind, dancing naked on the street corner, we don't have to love, but we do have to help. That's what tzedakah is about. And sometimes tzedakah begins at home. You might have heard that. And we are having a fundraiser on December 14th called Ziti and Zito. A wonderful Lehigh Valley chef, Mike Pisano, is coming to Temple Covenant of Peace, and he is going to be cooking a fabulous baked ziti dinner, complete with all the trimmings, garlic bread and salad and fabulous desserts and coffees, along with a lovely Italian entertainer from the Lehigh Valley named Tommy Zito, who plays standards, rock and roll, 50s, 60s, 70s, and Tommy is coming with a cadre of wonderful performers. So if you're in the neighborhood on Saturday, December 14th at 6 p.m., Temple Covenant of Peace is the place to be. For your reservation, it's $50 for or $99 a seat. So find yourself a friend and come. Going to be a lot of fun. And this is, again, one of the ways that we look to do creative things in order to serve God. One of the things we really don't know is, how can God be compared? Well, God can't be compared. It says so. Who is like you, God? In the Song of the Sea. So there is a new branch of Jewish music called Gospel, as in Jewish gospel. And if you'd like to sing along, this is the song to do it to. Standing at the sea, Michamocha, standing at the sea, Michamocha, standing at the sea, Michamocha, freedom's on our way. Singing and dancing, Michamocha, singing and dancing, Michamocha, singing and dancing, Michamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. Bound no more, Michamocha, bound no more, Michamocha, bound no more, Michamocha, freedom's on our way. Walking through the water, Michamocha, walking through the water, Michamocha, walking through the water, Michamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. We're on the other side, Michamocha, we're on the other side, Michamocha, we're on the other side, Michamocha, freedom's on our way. One God, Michamocha, one God, Michamocha, one God, Michamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. As Jews, we are also a people of gratitude. We say blessings on what you may consider to be the smallest little things. Getting a new pair of shoes. That's a moment of blessing. Waking up in the morning. That's a moment of blessing. A Jew is supposed to say 100 blessings a day. At least 100 blessings a day. So, to say thank you in Hebrew, we say Toda Rabbi. Toda, Toda, Rabba, Rabba. We say thanks a lot. Toda, Toda, Rabba, Rabba, for blessings we have got. There's the sun and the moon and the pretty blue sky, shooting stars, rainbows, comets that fly. In all of these things we see Adonai. also told by the rabbis that we must give credit where credit is due. So the first song I sang, Listen, is by a wonderful cantor in California named Doug Kotler. The second song, gospel song, Standing at the Sea, is by Ellen Allard. And the last little song, which my kids adore, is by me. So I get a little credit too. I'd like to invite Dr. Marcia back over here. Oh, thank you.
Beautiful. See, I have to come and have tea with you and
Oh,
chicken soup.
please.
Tea, chicken soup.
I make a mean cup of coffee too.
Oh, coffee is good.
I also do good rugelach.
Rugelach. Is that the? Okay, I'm not gonna see. I'm trying to lose weight.
Oh, you don't want rugelach. No, rugelach is a very rich cream cheese pastry that
Ooh.
I fill with like apricot and chopped pecans or Nutella. You don't want that. If you're losing, you
sounds
don't
good.
need to lose weight.
But if I come over there, I can't turn down because it would
be rude.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a Jewish mother.
And I
first
don't
and
want to be
foremost.
rude.
Right, you have to try at least one.
At least one. At least
So
take
one
2 or 3
raspberry,
home.
right, one raspberry, one apricot, one Nutella, yeah, but at least 3 or 4.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Food is definitely one of my creative outlets.
Yes.
I mean, Thanksgiving not Thanksgiving, actually Thanksgivica.
Right, we were talking earlier about this is Thanksgivica.
Yes.
Because it's the first time within 700 years or?
It has happened once before, I believe like 1888.
Mm-hmm.
It will be happening this year, where we have a confluence of Hanukkah happening with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Now, we Jews have a solar-lunar calendar, which is different from Muslims who are truly on a lunar calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So their holidays eventually move into every season.
Mm-hmm.
In Judaism, Passover must be in the spring, because one of its names is Chag HaAviv, the holiday of springtime.
Mm-hmm.
And Sukkot, our harvest holiday upon which Thanksgiving is based, has to be in the fall. So the rabbis figured out a way of intercalating. That actually is a word. It is with a T-E-R, not a T-U-A. Okay? So they have intercalated the calendar so that we have a 19-year cycle in which that is kind of on time. So this year, the high holidays, New Year's, Rosh Hashanah, and our Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, were incredibly early. So we have Hanukkah incredibly early. And this year it happens to coincide with Thanksgiving. The second night of Hanukkah is on Thanksgiving. So,
And we give thanks.
oh, amen, we definitely do.
I like
oh,
that
yeah.
you say 100 times a day.
At least, yep.
At least 100 times a day.
Yep.
Amen. What a wonderful. I love the music, just ushering in the presence of God and just communing to listen to God. I love that. I hope it's on tape so I can.
Oh,
I
it
can
is.
get
Absolutely.
that.
You absolutely can.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And just listening to you, and I've enjoyed you so immensely.
Thank you.
Immensely. And just listening to your journey and all those roadblocks that you have put up for something that you desire. But we do that. We do that. We desire something. We say we want to do something, but we always putting up roadblocks.
I
And
didn't
God
think it
is
was
just
a roadblock. I kind of thought it was a map. Well, I think, you lay your cards on the table, I lay my cards on the table.
Okay.
If we come at things in honesty and say, this is it, it's what I need.
This is what you need. This is the roadblock you're gonna have to jump over,
That's
God.
right. Well, I kind of felt that God had put enough in my path.
You just wanted to share. You wanted to make it equal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, regardless of what
I mean,
we
Do
put
we
in
have
our
time
way.
for a quickie little story?
Of course.
Okay,
of course.
there's a
This is the
story.
gospel Agape Radio Internet Broadcasting Network. We have plenty of time.
Yay!
Go ahead.
Okay, well, there is a story told by Reb Levi of Berdichev, a mystical Hasidic rabbi. And it seems that it was the Day of Atonement, and he was looking. The tailor wasn't in synagogue on the Day of Atonement. How could this be? This tailor was a very holy, righteous man, and Reb Levi was concerned. So he went to the tailor's house, and he said, "Why are you not in synagogue?" And the tailor said, "Well, I'll tell you, Rabbi. I was having a conversation with the Holy One."
Okay.
And that's what Reb Levi said. Okay. And what did this conversation consist of? Well, you know, I've had a hard year. And it seemed to me that all right, I might not have been perfect. I might not have upheld every single rule that I could uphold. But on the other hand, it seemed to me that God should be able to forgive me for my little shortcomings.
Oh,
and
little shortcomings.
yeah,
Little
and
shortcomings.
if God would forgive me for my shortcomings, I would forgive God for God's shortcomings. And Reb Levi looked at
It's
the
like
tailor
I'm looking at you right now. Yes.
and said, "And you let God off with that? With all the problems there are you had God right there. You had God. Next time, ask for more. Ask for peace." So sometimes, if we know what we need and we ask for it, God comes through. And just so you know, from my own personal theology, okay?
This is
In-
Rabbi
this
Melody's
is- yeah, it
Theology
is.
101. Okay.
Okay? It says in Genesis, male and female, God created them in God's own image. So,
Yes. Oh,
okay.
You know I know that one.
Okay. That being the case,
Yes.
God can easily be thought of as one.
And I say God is a spirit.
Amen.
And his God is one. Whole there's character. We talk about God male and female.
Yes.
And we know God is multi-one. God is one. And because our mistakes or our purity stains.
I'm really good at the insecurity. Really good at that.
He loves us and brings us to exactly where he
Come into peace.
is. Amen. Shalom. Lacking nothing. Totally complete. What can you imagine? And I won't even go into because I know I talk out. You tell us to build houses in the midst of craziness.
Well,
Produce.
we are rebuilding
There's
our
our
house,
house.
actually.
Amen.
We just put a new roof on. We did. Last year, that was our project. We put a new roof on to come into peace. And this year, the double entendre, we say Vador, which means from generation to generation.
Oh, okay.
Well, we need new doors on the temple. So we're calling it the Door Vador campaign.
Well, ask.
ZDZ, December 14th.
Thanks again for coming. Rebroadcast tomorrow on our YouTube channel, Agape Radio 1. That's Agape Radio 1 on our YouTube channel. And you will hear this wonderful Rabbi Melody Davis, my new friend. And I'm going to eat up all her, what's the...
Rugala!
Thank you. I'm going to eat all those up in the chicken soup.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Could you please pray out for us?
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. May God make his face shine upon you, and may God give you peace, the greatest of all blessings, from which everything else
Thank you. And good evening. I'm Dr. Marcia Thetford, and it's a pleasure as always. And I'll see you next week on Reflection, reflecting the image of God in our lives, in our ministry. Because it's not about us, it's about God. Good night.